So I've got a message and it reads, Alex, will you do a lesson on the Bossa Nova? Yeah, alright. Hello drummers, how's it going? It's Alex once again, bringing some more fun-free drumming ideas. Like I said in the intro, we're looking at the Bossa Nova pattern. It's got its roots in samba, it comes from Brazil. It can be quite challenging, you've got 4 limbs doing 4 different patterns at the same time. So let's break it down one piece at a time. Here we go. Right, okay, so let's break this little Brazilian bad boy down. What I thought I'd do is I'll show you the hand pattern. We're going to be cross-sticking it, so when you get that nice sort of percussive wood blocky sound, then I'm going to show you like a couple of little patterns you can just sort of apply underneath with the bass drum and the hi-hat. They'll get gradually more difficult, but you know, hopefully it's all going to sort of pile up and equal a slightly better drummer. So here we go, it's the first bit. We've got 8th notes going on the hi-hat, but then we're going to apply this sort of clave pattern underneath, and it's going to be going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So that's the first bar. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Start hearing that sort of Latino vibe coming out. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So that's the first bar. The second bar is going to go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. That's a bit weak on that second hit. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So if I play those back to back, you can sort of hear what they sound like put together. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now I'll play it and be quiet. So when you've got that hand pattern down, I would just maybe add a kick drum on beat 1 at the start of each bar, just so you know where you are at all times. So that's going to sound like this. So we've got bar 1, we're going to be actually hitting the snare drum and the bass drum at the same time, right at the beginning. So we get this, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Let's try that again. I'm sure I can do it better. There you go, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And then bar 2, we're going to get this 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So if I play that back to back so you can, you know, hear what's going on. And that's the hand pattern, so let's speed it up. Now if you can learn that, it's going to make the next bit much easier. So we've already put the bass drums on beat 1. All we've got to do now is add that bass drum on beat 3 as well. So in relation to where the snare drums land, on the first bar, you'll be playing a snare drum just before the bass drum. And then on the second bar, you'll be playing a snare drum just after the bass drum on the end of beat 3. So you can get this together, snare, boom, snare. So that's just the first bar. So you can hear where that bass drum just falls on the hi-hat afterwards. Every bass drum lands with the right hand. Every snare drum lands with the right hand. That's the nice thing about this groove, okay? Everything evolves around the 8th note pattern. So let's try again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Second bar. Okay, so you can hear that pop just after the bass drum. Boom, pop, boom, pop. I don't know why I'm saying pop, but it kind of makes sense. Okay, so let's get the kick drums on 1 and 3. Play it all together, seamlessly, no gaps and stops, and hopefully it's going to start sounding a bit more Bossa Nova-y. So here we go. One and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. A bit faster. I bet some of you are dancing in your chair a little bit. Right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to get that left foot stepping on beats 2 and 4. So now we're going to get this pattern. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now for this, we're just going to move our right hand over to the ride cymbal. So let's just little practice that foot part. Now if you want at this point, you can just add the snare drums in. Don't worry about sort of, you know, playing it on the edge. Just play it normally. Now the nice thing about this, I say nice thing, all you got to remember, beats 2 and 4 are always going to be little closing the hi-hats. We've got a couple of snare drum notes at the same time as that, sort of midway, sort of at the end of the first bar and sort of the middle of the second bar. Again, the other times, all you got to do is just, if you look at the sheet music, you can see where the actual hi-hats line up. On the first bar, because it's landing on beat 2, it's going to be just before that snare drum on the and of beat 2, and then again, it's going to be just after the snare drum on the and of beat 3. I'm just going to use my knee as the ride cymbal, just so you can hear what's going on between the feet and the snare drum. Okay, so I'll do a little counting, and then you can sort of see where the hi-hats land just before, or at the same time, or just after that snare drum. So here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. Here we go. Right, onto the ride cymbal. Right, okay, so this is where it gets a bit more tricky. We're going to start adding that sort of classic traditional samba foot pattern underneath. Hands stay exactly the same, but now we're going to have bass drums, as well as being on beat 1 and beat 3, it's going to be on the and of beat 4, leading into beat 1, and then the and of beat 2, leading into beat 3. So you can get this pattern. I'll just ride on the knee again. I'm going to get 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Now if you want, just practice that with just the ride cymbal as well. Ignore the hand. Play it nice and gently with the ride cymbal. Again, just practice that. Make sure that all the bass drums are landing with the right hands. That's the nice thing about this, is everything sort of is attached to a note on the ride cymbal or the hi-hat or wherever you're playing those eighth notes. So let's try that again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and I'll shut up. Again, this makes like a really cool exercise if you just want to practice going as fast as you can with that. I'm not going to do it right now. Right, so you've basically got the 3 out of the 4 things layered on. All you got to do, again, is just add that clave over the top of it. So what I'll do, again, I'll just ride on my knee so you can hear where they fall together. You'll be able to hear what the kick, the snare, and the hi-hat are doing in relation to each other. Go and check out the sheet music. That will really help, just so you can see where the bass drums land with this new pattern. But basically, the only time the snare drum and the bass drum are going to meet at the same time is beat 1, which it has done pretty much always, and then on the and of beat 2, and this is all in the first bar. The rest of the times, the bass drums are sort of in and around the snare drum notes. Or should I say the snare drum notes are in and around the bass drum pattern. So again, I'll just play it. 8th notes on my knee, and you can hear what's going on. Here we go. Little mistake at the end. Okay, so I'll play the same thing. I'm just going to move my right hand over to the ride cymbal, mainly because my knee cane. So here we go. Okay, and again, it's hard not to move when you're playing this one. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll just play it with I'll just start with the hand pattern. I'll add that bass on beat 1 and 3. Then we'll add that little open hi-hat on beat 2 and 4. And then we'll finish off with the whole thing with my right hand on the ride cymbal. So here we go. Here it comes. Okay, let's have a bit of fun. Just play it a little bit faster. Hopefully we'll get all this working together in a nice synergistic fashion, if that makes any sense. Here we go. Okay, so that's the end of it. I hope you enjoyed that. I did have a few requests to do some Bossa Nova stuff, and so I thought I'd do a lesson just to get started on it. So you want to get the hand pattern down first, then add that kick drum, then get that left foot going, then see if you can sort of finish it off with that nice little samba pattern underneath. If you did like it, don't forget to give the video a nice thumbs up. That's always supports the channel. Subscribe if you haven't already, and if you want to come and say hello on Facebook or Twitter, the links are in the description below. And of course, if you want the sheet music for this, which I highly recommend, then you can download that for free at onlinedrummer.com, and again, the link is in the description. So once again, guys, thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you very soon for some more fun, free drumming ideas. Alright, see you later. Bye.